D-pad. Let's talk about some video games. Eric, you had a video game that you want to talk about.
Yeah.
And I've been talking for quite a while with Read a Book, so why don't you jump into that?
All right. So I've been playing a game on my phone called Stormbound, which is it's like a strategy card game. The best way I could explain it is it's like Magic the Gathering combined with chess. It's a card game where you've got like so much energy to like some things and things like that, and you put it on the field, and each turn they move forward, and they all have different abilities and attack strengths, and it's kind of complex to try and explain, but it's real simple to pick up. I really like it. It's a lot of fun. It's a great, just kind of like time waster, like just something to do with my hands. I have the same complaint with it that I had with Hearthstone, which is the Blizzard online card game. It's the like World of Warcraft card game.
Oh, okay.
Which I like that. I like that game too. It is too disrespectful to people that don't want to pay money to win.
Yeah, okay.
I don't think you get enough money to buy things from the daily quests or victories. Like, if you beat someone and it's not like an achievement, you get like 5 gold. Like, the lowest thing is like 80 gold. It takes you forever to make money to then be able to buy like a card or like some.
Do you only get gold by beating people? There's not like boxes to open or anything? Because the Power Ranger game I play, like there's frequently boxes you open that give you that.
No, there's daily goals.
Like I probably get 200 to 500,
coins
a
nothing
day.
Like that. And Hearthstone was the exact same way. And I think that's really unfair.
Yeah, I think so too.
Because it incentivizes. I mean, this is why they do it, right? It incentivizes basically just dropping money on this game, and then you're better than everyone else. Because you have all these more cards than everybody else because you spent $600 in this game. Yeah, and I'm not going to pay to play a game.
With the one phone game I play, I feel a lot more accomplished that I get as far as I do without spending a dime. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like I accomplished something. If I paid money, it would feel like cheating.
Yeah. So I like the game.
That's not even being cheap. It's just like, what is the point of that?
I wish I wasn't as penalized for not wanting to pay money to play it.
Yeah, fair.
But it's enjoyable, and I would recommend it to people if you like collectible card games.
I think if you're going to cripple your players that much by not spending money, you make it a game that you have to pay for.
Yeah, just make it a pay game.
Get $5 or $10 from every person that gets the app, and you're done. Like,
but it's a fun game, and I recommend it to people if you can get past the pay-to-win aspect of it.
Yeah, that kind of sucks.
You're never going to be the best unless you pay money.
Eric, I just got... I don't want to say got through because there's so much to do in this game. Oh, my God. But I got to the credit screen of Super Mario Odyssey this week, and I played this for a couple days, pretty much nonstop after I bought it. I got sucked in immediately, and to be fair, I expected that to happen. You know what I mean? Like I had this with the Galaxy games, and this is, I think, the perfect fusion of 64 and Mario Galaxy. Also, I should mention it's weird that we last time we're in space. And now we're, if you don't count 3D World and stuff, but that's somewhat of a different kind of game. Although the way some of that stuff is incorporated into this is interesting. But it's weird that we went from space to just a globetrotting adventure, and this feels so much more epic, than that. It's kind of fun. But anyway, so I bought this the day it came out, and I played it for a couple days kind of straight. I think maybe 7 or 8 hours. Maybe it took that long. Maybe it was a little bit less. It got me to the final boss. And then after that, and I'm going to spoil some stuff when I talk about this, but after that, you go to the Mushroom Kingdom, and you get to go to the 64 Castle. And there's lots to do outside the 64 Castle. When you go in it, it's not like the original 64 Castle, where you get to go upstairs and downstairs, and it's small, and that's kind of... I wish there was more of that, but then I guess I can't expect that whole game in this game. Well, that would have been nuts. They'd done that. Like, that would have been absolutely insane. But anyway, so like, it's one of those games where like you've technically beaten it, but there's still like a million things to collect. And in this, you're getting moons instead of stars. And there are so many more moons I haven't even begun to find. And apparently, after you get past the Mushroom Kingdom, there is even yet at least one more kingdom to go find, and I just can't believe how big this is. It's enormous. There's so much to do, and there's so much variety. It's just wonderful. As far as the mechanics of it, I don't know if I can't recall off the top of my head if this is the first time a Mario game has done this, but one of the things I really like about this game is that you're collecting coins like you always do in Mario, and there is a purchasing system, and you use them to buy things. I really like that. You don't have men in this game. You don't have lives. What you do is whenever you die, you lose a certain number of coins, and as long as you have coins, you're good. So it's kind of like Sonic. Yeah, sort of, in that way. But you use your coins to buy stuff throughout the game, and there's a bunch of different outfits. So, like, you can dress up as different with different outfits, and that's surprisingly fun. And it's weird how much I actually wanted to do that. And you have a lot of, and sometimes it gets you moons. So, like, you're incentivized to do that by you have to masquerade as a certain thing, so somebody will let you into a place, and so it's like you don't look like like a mechanic or something, so you have to put on your mechanic clothes and go into the place. Jason's been playing this, and he's found costumes I didn't find.
Oh, cool.
He's got 4 or 5 that I didn't have. When you go to the big city, you get like this kind of like secret agent or like noir type suit, which is really cool.
Oh, that's cool.
And there's a couple of suits where like you dress up. And there's and it's fun to like mix and match and do goofy stuff, because like you get hats that go with your outfits, but you can wear hats that go with different outfits, so that's kind of fun. You can customize it and do goofy stuff. Like I wore like a pirate hat with like a chef outfit or something. It's stupid, but it's fun. The big selling mechanic for the game is you have a sentient hat that comes from a hat kingdom. Bowser also has one. Apparently we just now found this hat kingdom, and everybody's using these sentient hats. And you throw a hat at something. You can't do it with everything in the game, but there are enemies and things that you can throw a hat on, and then Mario possesses it and becomes that thing. And the most fun thing for me are all of the classic Mario bad guys that you get to possess and become, and they all have different characteristics and traits and positives and negatives. It's really fun being a Bullet Bill.
I imagine so.
It's kind of fun. It's usually kind of useless, except for when there's like a platform that you're supposed to stand on and have a certain number of them. But you can be Goombas and stack yourself up, be a bunch of Goombas, and what else?
Can you play a Thwomp?
I don't think there's a
Or a
place where you're a
chain
Thwomp, but there is. But one of the first things you possess is a chain
That's
shot.
awesome.
And that's really cool. Spinies you don't possess; you just blow them up. One thing I was really surprised by, I was actually kind of blown away that you got to do this, and the mechanics of it is really fun. The lava level, which is not actually lava, and I'll get to that in a second. One of my favorite things about this game is the ways that they subvert the standard. Like archetypes of particular places you go, but the kind of lava land, you become the fireballs with eyes.
Oh, that's cool.
And you dart around like and there's like a big lake of lava.
Was it Dark Energon the whole time? Is that why it's not?
I guess that must be what it was. Yeah. So they're really inventive with some of the stereotypes. Like I said, the lava level is the lunch land, and it's their food theme thing. But usually when you see food themes, it's all like candy and junk food. This is lunch, and the lava is, I can't remember if it's gravy or if it's gum. I think it's gum. I can't remember. But they have it's obviously a lava level. Like that's how it works. But the theme is food, and then when they do the desert level, it's not Egypt like it usually is. It's Mexico.
Oh, interesting.
And that's really cool. And then when I think one of my favorite worlds is Bowser's world toward the end, where it's feudal Japan.
Oh, that's
and it's
cool.
awesome. And some of my favorite music is in that bit, too. I should talk about the soundtrack for a second. There's not as much throwback stuff as usual. A lot more original music here. A lot less. It's cool because it does throw back, but it doesn't do it in such blatant ways as some previous installments have. Like Galaxy has a throwback Galaxy, which is fun. But I like that the ways in which this throws back is, surprisingly, because I didn't expect this from the trailer, it's all about embracing what always made Mario great. And even though it has places like that city where you have sort of real-looking people, and that's really strange that's there, you also have all these places where it's Goombas and it's Koopa Troopers, which you can also be... Oh, and also, being Hammer Bros is kind of fun, too.
Oh, cool.
But... One second.
Do they explain why there's real people?
No, they don't. Except that it just is right for the theme of that. Basically, it seems like the attempt... Well, some of it is because that's the girl that Donkey Kong kidnaps in the old Donkey Kong games, and she looks more or less like kind of like a regular person, like Pauline. But even she's more stylized than the rest of the people in that. I think it's more because it's supposed to be like a noir-looking city, and so that's just... It makes sense that that's what the people look like. It wasn't jarring in the game the way it seemed like it would be in the trailer.
Interesting.
And what I really liked about it was kind of saying, like, what would it look like if Mario jumped... At least at first when you're at night. What would it look like if Mario jumped into a standard... kind of like adult, cynical, like violent game. And it's not violent, but the world kind of looks like that. It looks like Arkham City. I mean, it's really cool. You got Mario in that kind of landscape, right? And then you beat a boss there, and then it turns to day, and then it looks like the open world Spider-Man 2. And it is New York City, but it's New Kong City, but it feels a lot like New York. That has my favorite bit in the entire game, I think. Which is... So, I talked about this when I sampled it last time, that there are, but I didn't realize it was going to be all through the game like this. Like, this is a mechanic, just like you predicted, where you have these 2D sections that are on a wall, and it's all over the game. And there are a bunch of places where you have to go into that in order to get to the next part of the level. And it's... when you finish the New Kong City part, Pauline throws you a party, and you have to run through this really long, elaborate one that goes all across the city. That's like along a bunch of walls, and while there's a bunch of fireworks in the background and stuff, and it's just really cool and super fun. But yeah, what else was I going to talk about? I'm just trying to read because there's just like so much stuff in the game that I can talk about. I like how easy it is to not get stuck. If that makes any sense, where there are so many moons to collect that if there's one you're stuck on and you're not able to get, you're going to be able to find some more. Like, you can get... If all you want to do is see the end of the game, it doesn't take that long. And if you have but, like, you can make the game take a really long time if you want to get everything. And if you have any platforming skills at all, you can get through it. There's also kind of an easy mode for beginners that helps you find stuff and gives you more hearts. Okay. Which Jason is needing to get through it, because it's a little tough for him, because it's intermediate, but it's not super hard. There's some challenging platforming, but for the most part, I didn't have any trouble with it at all. I blew through it pretty quick. But anyway, it goes without saying, this is wonderful. It is a near masterpiece, and it's probably the best it's clearly the best 3D Mario game, I think, in my opinion.
But, all of them.
Oh yeah,
going all the way back to 64.
It's and I mean it improves on some 64 stuff. It's so much of a true follow up to 64.
Even more. So it's better than Sunshine.
Yeah. Oh, one thing I was gonna say. So I have just a couple little complaints. One is I don't like that in the 2D sections you can't use the D-pad.
Oh, that's weird.
I don't like that. You have to use the stick. That's irritating. I don't like that there's any motion control at all. I just wish we would get that out of it. There might be a way to toggle it to change the buttons or whatever, but I don't like that we're still doing the gimmick thing of, well, you can press a button to throw your hat, but if you want it to spin around like this, you gotta spin your control. I don't like that. Like, let's get all that out of that. We don't need those kind of gimmicks just because we have motion control, because the Wii was all about the motion control, but this is a really versatile system. There's nothing about this game that screams motion control. They have arms and stuff. They have 1-2 switch. They have games that are about the motion control. Let's keep that out of a Mario game, yeah? It's, also, there's this thing I find really irritating about the Mushroom Kingdom, where there are some paintings you can jump through, like with 64, but they're all just bosses you fought before, but a little harder. I think it's a little lame, and I was surprised by how much fun I thought a lot of the bosses were, and then they started all feeling less fun when I had to do them again, and I didn't like that. So yeah, that's kind of that's a big complaint I have about the end of the game, but getting there is super fun.
Well, do you have to play that to beat the game? Or is that just kind of extra stuff?
No, not to beat the game. It's just extra stuff, but I just think it's kind of lame that they gave you the paintings, and that's really cool, but they're just bosses again, They could have been short, side-scrolling bits. There were other things they could have done. And there is a really cool side-scroll bit that's super hard, that took me a long time to get through, that's in that, which is really neat. One thing that is cool, though, is that when you go to the Mushroom Kingdom, they do turn the moons into stars. And they have the old sound effect and theme song, and theme, when you get the stars and all of that. When you jump into the painting, it does the da-da-bop-bop, and that whole thing. And so it's fun how authentic and faithful it was to all that. So anyway, it's just lovely. It's gorgeous. And the level designs are brilliant, and the landscapes are beautiful. Okay, so
the featured item of the night.
By contrast. I'm embarrassed to show this. I shouldn't have bought this. So, let me give a little bit of preamble. Day one. Let me give a little bit of preamble. I was going to wait. I should have, and not done it at all. So, I'm one of the only people on the planet that likes the original Bubsy. Sue me. I like it. It's not perfect, but I have a lot of nostalgia that goes along with that game, and I can't look at it super critically. I like that game. So, deal with it. And, anyway. So... Acclaim finally gets back into business. Somebody buys it or something. I don't know what happens, but Acclaim is now a company again. And the first thing they decide to do up here, I think the first thing is they're gonna put out a new Bubsy game. For me, I guess, just me, I guess, because there's this there's the stigma against all of Bubsy, partly because of Bubsy 3D. Of course, Bubsy 2 is not good. The level designs in the original Bubsy are really not good. I get people's complaints, but I thought it was, when I was a kid, pretty imaginative. I liked that it was trying to be like a Saturday morning cartoon on a 2D sprite plane, and it had some fun with itself. Cheap deaths, 9 lives was not enough. You collect yarn balls, but what do? Nothing at all. Who cares about points? Not me. I get people's complaints with that game. So then they go, well, we know there's this guy named Captain Logan who likes Bubsy. We figured we'd come back and make him a game. I don't know who the heck else bought this. On disc, no less. This has a collector's edition. I don't understand that. It's $10 more. It doesn't come with anything anybody would want. It's like a trading card and a couple of things. I don't know who bought that. Everybody but GameStop only has that version.
We don't.
Mostly this was like downloading. Oh, you have this version?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Anyway, so...
What's it called?
It's called Bubsy the Woolies Strike Back, because the Woolies are back, because that's the enemies that you fight. But here's something I never understood about Bubsy. So I mean, it's so generic, and I mean I loved it, but it's so generic. I just keep thinking of things I'm going to complain about. I'll get there. So the Woolies are after all the yarn balls. But what you collect are yarn balls, and they're everywhere. So I don't know why the bullies don't... They'll stand right next to a yarn ball. They're not taking it. That's what they want, is yarn balls. Well, they just take the yarn ball. It's right there. The bosses in this game, when you get in between whatever they're trying to do to kill you, sometimes they'll drop a bunch of yarn balls. They're here to steal all of them! Why are they giving them to me? I don't understand! Anyway.
Oh my god, did you finish this game?
No.
Okay, because you said wait till I tell you how far I got. So I was just like, oh my god, you said bosses. Did you beat the game?
Nope. Just wait till I tell you how far I got.
Okay.
Okay, so best way I can describe this game.
Well, and you said before you played it, you said you were hearing that it was real self-aware that it knew that people didn't like the Bubsy games, and so it was going to have some fun with that.
I don't know where people got that.
Okay.
So Bubsy, as you might imagine, he says fewer things than Gex did on the Dreamcast, or no, the Saturn in 1996. Was it the Saturn? Was it the Dreamcast? I don't know. I'm tired. I'm not making any sense right now. I'm pretty sure Gex was on this. Yeah, it's the Saturn. What the heck am I talking about? Anyway, this is us really late. We're not going to tell you what time it is. We just did. So, What'd you just ask me?
I asked you if it's self-aware.
Oh,
It makes fun of the fact
right,
that everyone
yes.
hates Bubsy.
There's like one line where he's like, where he says something about like the Woolies and he hasn't seen them in 20, 40 years or something. Like that's it. It's not super self-aware about.
It doesn't seem like it knows that everyone hates these games.
No, and I read a review that acted like it did that, and I don't know where that came from. I also didn't play the whole game, so I don't know. But anyway, okay. So the best way I can describe this game. So check it out. This is what I paid for it. I paid $30 for this game. It's half the price of a standard game. Now, it's nice that it's immediately at a discount. It's kind of a bargain game, right? It should have been $5. Okay.
What?
Yeah, because the best way I can describe this game is that it is what you would expect to play on like a Flash website for a side scroller. Like it's one of those.
Oh.
That's what it plays like.
Isn't it 3D though?
Yeah, I mean, it's 3D looking, sure.
Oh.
But I mean, that's immaterial.
Okay. Okay.
And like, I guess that looks fine, but there's nothing impressive about it. Level designs are just open space. There's not a lot of interesting platforming to be had. What there is, there's cheap deaths everywhere. They try to overcompensate for some people's complaints with the original by having Bubsy do too many things. So, like, he's got a standard jump. He still has the glide. The glide is weird because that button sort of does two things. So it takes a while to figure out what you're even supposed to do with this. So there are places where you kind of need to do front flips, which you do when you press the glide button, but you're not wanting to actually glide. Okay, so it takes a while to figure that because it's a glide button, clearly. So you do this flip thing. In the original, you could jump a little bit with the glide button, but you wanted to use the bigger jump and then glide. It took people a while to figure that out. People complained about it. I guess one thing people will appreciate with this, if they play it and they knew the original, is there's no fall damage. But I was like that because it was really cartoony. People always complain, you're not supposed to have fall damage in a 2D side scroller. Okay, the rules are different. Why is that big of a deal? You glide or you die. Whatever. They took that out of this, and as well as all the personality. And so there are places where you have to do this flip thing, which is sort of awkward because it's also the glide button, and then there's this pounce that you do, which is kind of useless except to break like rocks and things, because you jump right over enemies with it. Like you just jump over them. You can't really use it as an attack. You pounce right over them. It's a pounce, but you pounce over them. It's weird. Okay, anyway, so Bubsy and he can climb now. So like he does way more stuff than he used to, and it makes it kind of too easy. Except for the places where there's just really super cheap deaths, and they don't really give you enough space to jump, and there's just really poor level design. There are the levels are too long. There's a bunch of yarn balls, like there was in the original. So remember I said that in the original they didn't do anything. Now there's a number they want you to collect. I don't know what happens if you get them all. Why? Because I haven't been interested enough to collect them all. I don't care. I'm rushing through the levels as fast as I can because they're so uninspired. I'm falling asleep. Like this game is so mediocre. It's terrible. Like that's what it is.
That's what a lot of people said about Mighty Number 9 last year.
You've played this game 6 million times. The thing is, I'm very glad that 2D side-scrollers are back in a big way, but you have to be something kind of special or go home now, because we have so many of these. It's not good enough to be adequate, and I don't even think this is adequate. It's really boring. The music is terrible. It's really sappy and goofy in the wrong way. There are sounds in the music that don't sound like they should be part of the music. They sound like they should be sound effects. Like I don't know how it's music. I don't get that. The bosses are the strangest bosses I've ever seen. Or at least the second one. So how far did I get in this? Second map. I haven't played that past the second map.
Well, I mean, you got to the boss. You beat the second map.
No, I beat the first map. I got through the second map. I got to the boss. Did not beat the boss.
Okay.
That's why I've not played anymore, because screw that boss and I just don't care. So this is what this boss does. It's been a couple days and like it's fading fast because I hate this game. So there's this. It's a Wooly that's in a spaceship, because it's always Wooly in a spaceship, and it's got a dome head you have to jump on, right? And
it's always got a dome head you gotta jump on.
It's the most awkward boss I've ever played, because there's this part of it, like the beginning of it's not too hard. You jump over some things, you jump on it, and then it shoots this beam out that you have to like hover through, and what it does, I don't know how to. This is hard to describe. I should just be playing it for you, except I don't want to. So it's got beam, but it's like there's this beam and this beam, and you have to hover like between it, but then it's got. And it's coming down like this, like, because it knows you're going to be hovering and falling, because you're hovering, you don't fly, right? And then it's got these little, like, pieces of the beam that are, like, round that go through it, so not only are you dropping, but you have to, like go around those, and you can barely make it, right? Okay, this is the reason I haven't gotten past this boss, besides the fact that I freaking don't care, is, whenever you die, it doesn't start you back at the beginning of the boss. Whatever the meter is, that how much you've taken out of it, when you die and come back, you have taken that much out of it. I've never seen a boss like this where wherever you are, that's where it leaves off. Like, I've seen bosses where there's almost like a marker in the middle, you know what I mean? Where if you took out the first half, they give you that, but you start wherever you would have been, or like in the sequence,
levels
right?
of the boss, like if it transforms, you'll go back. If you're at stage 3 of the boss, you'll go back to the beginning of stage 3 of the boss, kind of a thing.
That's exactly right. This will put you wherever the meter is, but it's kind of a crapshoot as to what he's gonna do next. So I'll get back into it, and I don't know the pattern, because he's gonna start wherever he's gonna start. And oh god, I just don't care, and it's just such an awkward thing to try to play. But yeah, like with the regular levels too. There was a cool variety of different kinds of enemies and stuff in the original, and it was silly and goofy. It was very Toontown. It is just Woolies and the occasional something else, but for the most part, this is Woolies.
Well,
they're striking back. You know, like I wanted to try to make this review as entertaining as humanly possible, but it's so dull. I can't even like rip it apart in a fun way. It's just terrible.
Have you tried returning it?
No, because it's new. You can't do that at GameStop. Like. And I wouldn't have bought it at GameStop, except I thought that was the only place where you could buy this without buying the Collector's Edition, because I would have really had egg on my face with that.
I know I'm going to love it. I love Bubsy so much.
Well, I did not know I was going to love it, to be perfectly honest with you, but...
You were excited. You were really excited.
Well, it was so nuts that they would put this out 24 years later. Like, that's crazy. And so I love the audacity of it. Like, no one likes these games. We're gonna make one. I love that! How do you have that kind of audacity and it's this boring? It's really... I'll show it to you later. It'll help you fall asleep.
Sure.
Anyway,
I need help right now.
That's gonna be it, right? That's gonna be it for the D-pad, which you cannot use in this game. You can in this. I guess I'll give it that. Anyway, thanks for watching, folks. That's just watching D-pad now.
Just quotations. Just Mario Odyssey can't use the D-pad. Bubsy, I can in this.